All right, so let's get started. Good afternoon to everyone. Good evening to Carl. Let me change the sharing to this screen. And in case you're kind of upset that we're not watching the England-France game, don't worry. If they score, I'll show it. And more than likely, they're not going to score for a while. So we'll see. Malav, welcome. Good afternoon. You're just in time. If you have if you have questions, just type it on the chat, and I'll be able to see the chat right there. As a matter of fact, let me put the chat right there. Okay, so XFQ here. I noticed that when Zoom records this, they separate the chat files from the video, and I'm like, why would you do that? You know, why couldn't you do it together? And then I thought, this is my solution. A workaround it is to just post it right on the screen, so that way you get to see the chat, and it'll continue that way. So anyway. What has been happening over the past 2 weeks? Let me pretty much go quickly over. We're looking at the daily right here. First of all, let me shorten this. Move that over there. Let me do it this way. And that way we don't have to take up the whole screen and I get to see the questions coming up. All right. So basically, for the past 2 weeks, we have been, how should we say, consolidating. And our consolidation basically has been from here, the 39, actually 39.20 is really the big support. But we've been, the pinpoint has gone below that several times. And then, well, this is the new level. Oh, this is why. Starting today, all the ES contracts have moved on to March. And funny thing is that it's 30 points higher. So it has gone up as high as 40, 50, but the majority of it is basically around here. And this is, yeah, okay, fine. We'll do that. So this is the majority of the move in the past 2 weeks, okay? We have gone from the 39.20s in the old ES all the way to 39.90. And then we went down to the 39.20s, and then we went back up again to the 39.90s. And then yesterday, just yesterday, we just, wound up, actually Thursday, we wound up crashing all the way down to the 20s. And then from there, yesterday, we had, what was it? The high was, look at that, 40.24, according to the new value. And then it closed up at 39.62-ish, actually. Again, these are the new values, so it's a bit skewed. So we are basically right at here. Why is it not forming? This is, isn't it Alt-D, Control-D? Oh my goodness, I can't figure out my horizontal lines all of a sudden. Alt-H, D. Right there, where it ended, is pretty much the major support that has been taking place. So if you look at the middle line, do you notice how it pretty much touches every single week except what? 2 days, 3 days. And so that's what has been happening. And if you're wondering, my goodness, why am I getting chopped up left and right? I do calls and I go into negative, I do puts and I go into negative. This is why, because the market makers are really playing and toying with us. And whenever we put our stop losses, guess what? They'll come and catch it before they continue in their direction. That's one of the reasons that I don't put stop losses, because it'll do that boop, that 1 second boop, and just comes in and sweeps and closes you out. And then the next thing you know is the play that you had is actually a winning play. So I stopped doing that, and I made it more of a, play it by ear and watching the price action and the volume of the ticker. But since we have a lot of new traders, the easiest thing to do is just set a stop loss, like a 20% stop loss, 30% stop loss. It becomes unemotional, and that's the way it needs to be. So, why is it that a couple of weeks ago, we were able to, make tons of money going down, tons of money going up this way, but in the past 2 weeks, we've been like getting chopped up in a meat grinder? This is why. Okay, so that's what has been happening in the past 2 weeks. Now, moving forward to this week, we are having a rare blue moon. What do I mean by rare blue moon? This is where you have the consumer price index being reported on Tuesday, I believe, which follows the producer price index that we had on Friday. Then on Wednesday, we have the FOMC coming up. Thursday, we have unemployment numbers and whatnot. But Wednesday is the key. That's going to be a pivoting point for a lot of things. It depends on whether the Fed decides to put it at 75 basis points or 50 basis points. What do I think it'll go? I have no idea. Half of the people on TV and on articles and blogs are saying this is going to be the Santa rally. Jerome Powell is going to make sure that we have a Santa rally based upon his talking points. And the other half are saying, nope, we're going to continue going down. We're going to crash even down into the 3,800s on the S&P futures. So who knows what's going to happen? So what we are going to do, what I'm planning to do, is I'm going to trade after the fact. Okay, I may gamble with a little lotto here and there with a very, very small portion. And if I do a lotto, it's going to be with, money that was already, profited. This is from the profits, not from my principal. And we'll see if we hit a home run. And if I strike out, well, whatever. But if I hit a home run, then great. Then I get to multiply my profits for that particular day. But Wednesday is going to be key. And it's going to be a whipsaw day, because when the interest rate comes out at 2 o'clock, whatever it is, 50 or 75 basis points, that's not the key. The key is the dot plot. Where do they put the dot plot? Okay. If I had to guess, I would say that they would put it in a dovish tone. So when that happens, then the market should go up. And if it does go up, then Jerome Powell is going to come up at 2:30 and make a statement, and then take Q&A. And based upon his statement, it's going to pivot one way or the other. It's either going to continue shooting up, which the Fed does not want the stock market to do. But at the same time, the Fed doesn't want the stock market to crash completely either. Okay, that's the soft landing that they're trying to do, and they're finding it very, very difficult. So if it comes out dovish in any way, any word, any sentence, any phrase, facial expression that is like this loving, kind father, I have a feeling that the market will go bullish, at least for a day. Okay. But if he comes out hawkish, and actually if he repeats exactly what he has been repeating, it should be bearish, but we'll see. Now, that's happening then. And then on Friday, and this is what makes it a rare blue moon, you have quad witching day. Okay, so this is where all 4 different options are expiring on that day, including the ES, the individual stocks, the futures, the index options. All of that stuff is expiring on that day. Hence, quad witching, it happens once every 3 months, 4 times a year. Okay, so we'll actually review what has happened in the previous 3, and will that give us any sense of direction moving forward? All right, so that's going to be very, very key. All right, so let's take a look at a couple of things. I already mentioned this, the ES, because starting Monday, they're going to move to the March contract. What you'll notice is on the ES, the figures, I mean, you see it right here, the numbers will be 30 points higher. There will be a 30-point premium in comparison to the SPX or SPY. Okay, and eventually it'll dwindle down and they'll agree, but initially there's going to be that 30-point premium. It's not going to affect you one way or the other than the fact that it's going to surprise some people who see that 30-point differential. And France just scored. All right, here we go. Let's take a break. This is one reason I like the Spanish channel. There's always this guy that says, go! And he does it for such a long time. So, no surprise there. France taking the 1-0 lead at barely before even 17 minutes are up. I'm wondering if, here we go, replay. Nice pass. The guy is not attacking. Bad defense. And wow, what a shot. That is very difficult to do, but what a shot. Okay, so 1-0. Woohoo! Okay. So they may even win 1-0. We'll see. All right. What was I saying? So there's a 30-point differential. Just keep that in mind when you're flipping back and forth between ES and SPX or SPY. All right. Let's see. Now Friday, the action that we saw on Friday right here, there was a initial on the pre-market, there was a drop on the futures, and then when the market opened, it started going bullish. Okay, so when I was watching that, I was just like, this is just something smells fishy. Okay, how does it drop so much, but the moment the market opens, it starts just jacking up like crazy? Okay, I mean, there's no news or no comment that has changed dramatically from the PPI numbers into the open market, but it was very, very bullish. As a matter of fact, when we were getting the bot alerts, let me show you briefly. There were a bunch of calls that were popping into it. There was a DocuPop, SOXL, Docu again. Actually, I overlapped it. We actually have 2 bots going right now. One is in my computer, the other one is in the cloud, and that's just a backup. Just in case one of them fails, we have 2 going at a time because I don't want this service to get interrupted in any way, shape, or form, because it has been the bomb. Okay, so the record so far is well, total combined is 85 wins, 7 losses for my call out. So based on the bot, most of it based on the bot, I've made my option call outs. 85 wins, 7 losses. Okay. Now, did I make that much money? No. There are a lot of plays that I've made on my own that I didn't call out. And funny enough, those are the ones that I'm losing money on. So maybe I should just stick to the bot. AI is more intelligent than I am, right? Now, actually, this is a good long-term long, okay? Here now, okay. So again, there was a double up. Shopify, I was like, huh? A buy? And I was like, that's why I interjected. Hey guys, I'm not personally taking any buy signals today. Okay, I don't want to swing them into this week. I actually didn't even want to day trade these. Okay, and sure enough, guess what happened? It started tanking, and then it flatlined for a while, and then you know what happened towards the end of day. Okay, here's another buy. No, coin. It was a sell. So guess what? I jumped in. So because of what was happening, and because the overall market in the way it has been behaving, look, it's been going down. Okay. Out of the last 6 days of trading, we had 5 negative days, 1 positive. So that ain't gonna cut it. Okay. And so I was very leaning towards a bearish bias. That's the play that I took. Okay. Apple buy, no. Do I have Apple shares? Yes. But I did not take that. Did not take that. Look at this. Enphase, great company. Long-term, great, but I did not take that. Okay. Exit coin, 11%. All right. So this is my play. I took 1/3 off and then took off a bunch of others. But when you see this, when you hit 11% on a day trade, feel free to sell 7 of them, keep 3 runners, and move the stop loss up. Okay, that way it's 0 risk, and a win is a win is a win is a win. Okay, that's the safest way to go. I'm being riskier by doing it this way. All right. So this is what happened on Friday. All that to say that this is what happened on Friday. Okay, the market sentiment for that day was bullish in the morning. But the overall week was just negative. Looking at this, I did not like it. Okay, where did it close? This was the close. This was the move that was taking place, and I was like, PPI came in real hot. It dropped, and then it starts going up all the way to 40.22, actually 30.90. Okay, it actually did hit 30.90, which is a resistance. Okay, and after that it started going down, and then from I think 3 o'clock or 3 o'clock, it's just started tanking like like a knife. It was falling. It was like a falling knife. Okay, so going into Monday, number one, there's no 401k money coming in. So I think Monday is going to be probably negative. Again, the news can move, and the markets and the futures can move. So who knows? But all else being equal, this is the way I'm thinking. That's why I held on to a lot of my puts. I do have a few calls in case it goes up. I do have hedges, like SPY calls that are like way out there, but I only paid like 10 cents, 15 cents. I didn't call it out this week. So I'm hedging my bets, but all else being equal, this is the direction that I see going. Okay, because I see it going all the way down to about 39.20, right around here, before it has another chance to bounce. So that's Monday. Tuesday, we have CPI numbers coming up. Okay, so how does where are your questions? No questions. Okay. Feel free to type. Okay. Unless I'm actually making any sense to you guys. So how does PPI play into CPI? What is the relationship? PPI is the producer's price index. Okay, those are the manufacturers, non-manufacturers, whoever it is, the business people, okay, who are selling stuff. Their inflation went up. So how does it affect the consumer price index? Well, typically it takes about 2 to 3 months of the initial PPI to impact the CPI. So it'll be another quarter before we see the result of what happened here. I'm sorry, I didn't check what was the PPI 3 months ago. Does anybody know? If you know it, Kyle, could you research that and let us know? And if the PPI 3 months ago or 2 months ago was fairly hot, it's going to be impacting the CPI coming on Tuesday. So what is the expectation for CPI? Yeah, 0.3, 0.3. So previously was 0.3. The forecast is 0.3. Year over year, they're expecting it to go down. Month over month for, this is the core. Overall CPI is basically going down from 0.4 to 0.3. This is the headline CPI that matters anyway. And so the question is, what happens if it comes in line? If it comes in line, everybody will be just as confused. Half of the people will say, oh, we're going to have a bearish time. The other half will be, oh, it's going to be Christmas rally. It's coming. Come on, let's go all in. FOMO, YOLO, whatever. My answer to that is, I don't know. I'm just as confused as people ought to really confess that they are confused. But that's how PPI tends to affect CPI. So Kyle, anytime you can tell us what happened with last quarter's PPI, let us know. Is he on? He may be tending to his kids. If anybody can know and check it out, please harp in. Score is still 1-0, hasn't changed. All right, so that's what's happening. I already talked about Friday's PPI action. The next part to talk about is, let's go into FOMC, okay, and how does the dot plot make a difference? FOMC thus far, when you take into consideration all the statements that every Fed person, voting, non-voting, has made, it seems to be like it's going to be 75 basis points, okay? The way Powell spoke the last month, it kind of seems like it's going to be 0.5. There's pressure from the Biden administration. There's pressure from hedge fund companies. Even Elon Musk has said that this constant increase in interest rates is going to, really dampen our economy. And Powell is in a very difficult situation where he has to kind of try to please both. He wants to please the people that are supporting him, but at the same time, he has a primary objective, and that objective is to bring inflation down to around 2%. Okay, so has it come down over the past couple of months? Yes, it has. Has it come down to 2%? No, it has not. Will it come down to 2% next year? No, I don't think so. How about 2 years from now? No, I don't think so. Okay, so the dot plot is, so whether it's 75 basis points, 50 basis points is not as important. It's the dot plot. Okay, so this is where the Fed chairs are kind of putting in their numbers and saying, moving forward, this is going to be what we're going to do, yada, yada. Okay. So, and the people who are going to see that first are going to be the market makers, okay? And we won't be able to react on it. We won't be able to act on it. We'll only be able to react on it. And you'll see the market go or up or down real quick. So best thing to do, safest thing to do, unless you want to YOLO and kind of buy a lottery ticket with like really, make it like so far out that if you bought an option and it costs you like 11 cents or 25 cents, you can blow it off. Fine. You can make it into hold on just a second. All right. You can make it into a YOLO lottery ticket. Okay. But outside of that, don't open major positions right before it. Okay. Because it's going to either bless you or curse you. So based on the dot plot, okay, the market is going to move. Now, why can it change and pivot completely based upon Jay Powell? Well, number one, he will talk about quantitative tightening. As you know, the Fed is taking out about $89 billion to $92 billion out of the money supply each and every single month, okay, which is a lot, okay? That's effectively, so the rate that they want to increase it to is around 4.5 to 5% by next year. But the quantitative tightening that's taking place, what's that doing is actually making the rate effectively about 6% to 6.5%. Okay, why? Because you're taking money supply out. Don't ask me why. Just search it on Wikipedia or Investopedia. Okay. And Bethany, I need you to mute. Okay. There we go. So that's what's happening. Is quantitative tightening. And then once and Bethany, there you go. What was I saying? Right. And then they're going to take into consideration Jerome Powell's facial expression and what he says, what he does not say. And then at that point, you can't act on what he says. You can only react to what the market makers do. Okay. And when if it turns around and keeps on pushing with volume, just jump onto it. If it crashes and it crashes with volume, you can jump onto it. Okay. But make sure you don't get in early because it could be a head fake. You want to be able to get in once you see like every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, you saw boom, 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 boom. And there's increasing volume or consistent volume, high volume to that direction. And you can day trade that particular time. Okay. So once that's over, the effect could be, if it's bearish, it could be bearish through Thursday. If it's bullish, it could be bullish through Thursday. But come Friday, during quad witching, that's when things will get crazy. The market is going to go up and down like crazy. The implied volatility would be super duper high. It's going to be everywhere. Okay. So if you're going to invest there, you have to do it with very, very tight take profits and stop losses. Okay. I would even venture to say, you know what, on Friday, why don't you take the day off? And from Friday morning till about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay. And then in the last hour, maybe you can do something. Okay. Why do I say that? Well, let's take a look at what has happened. So the one difference with this time around quad witching is interest rates. That's what makes it a blue moon. This is a rare occurrence. It doesn't happen often where you have that happening in the same week. Okay, so but putting that aside, I want to be able to take a look at what has happened in the last 3 quad witching days. Okay, so let me take you back to March 18th. Yep. March 18th, here we go. Okay, this is March 18th. It opened at 438, it closed at 444. So basically it was a very bullish day, okay? But it was followed by a bullish previous trend, okay? This was the trend that was going up. You have the 3 white soldiers here, including that, well, if you include this, it's 3 white soldiers. And then it during quad witching, it actually continued. A lot of people thought that a lot of these call options would have to basically close out, and there would be, the market would be down. That did not happen. So it was bullish, okay, and then the next Monday, you see that there was a doji, okay, but look at the range. It opened at 444, the same, pretty much the same area where it ended that Friday, and it went up to as high as 446 before dropping 444, and then closing it at around the same spot. Okay, so it was bullish briefly for 2 points, but it ended flat on Monday, but it continued on the rest of the week. Okay, so it went bullish, and then flat, and bullish for the rest of the week. Okay, June 17th. Okay, that's June 17th. So previously to that, there was a very bearish turn on the market, but on that day, you had a doji. In other words, it remains fairly flat, but it was a wide-ranging day because it went from 369 all the way down to 362 before closing at about the same opening of that day. That was basically, you know, quad witching in that particular summer. What happened on Monday? It was bullish. Okay, on Monday it went up as high as 376. So it went from 365 closing all the way to 376. That's a 12-point move. Okay, so June 17th, it was flat, and then it went bullish. Okay, and then it went kind of bearish and just overall up, but it was a rickety market, not very convincing. September 16th. Any questions so far? No questions. Man, I must be so good. All right. This is September 16th. Okay. And here, look at that. This is a doji, but this is called a spindle top. Why? I don't know. I don't care. It's generally flat. There was just lack of conviction. The high was 386. The low was 382. It opened at 384. It opened at 384. It closed at 385. So overall, just blah, nothing happening. You know, I think part of it was a downtrend that didn't help, but at least it didn't go down on that day. It was slightly bullish as it closed. What happened on Monday? Take a look. Okay, so it closed at 385, and on Monday it closed at 388, so slightly bullish, but look at the high. It went up to as high as 388. Did it close at the high? Oh, should have made it red. Okay, let me get rid of that. Yeah, it actually closed at the top end. So Monday was bullish, but then the rest of the day just followed the overall trend of being very bearish and just keep going down. So what's going to happen this coming Friday? Okay, that is the question. What's going to happen? So we're looking at December 16th, which will be right here. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. Now I'm messing things up. Okay. I'm trying to create the Alt V. Alt V. Alt V. Oh my gosh. All right. Sorry. My thingamajiggy will not cooperate with me. So here's December 16th. That's going to be the day of the fourth quad witching. Okay. So we're having a bearish week thus far. What's going to happen at the quad witching? Anybody want to guess? Why doesn't everybody guess? Go ahead. Flat, up or down? Go ahead, type it in if you're actually listening to this. Flat, up or down? Please interact so that way I don't feel like I'm speaking to outer space to nobody. Malav says flat. Anybody else? Up, okay. So it'll be flat, up or down. We don't know. Okay. Well, here's the key. What's going to happen Monday? Okay. So at least on Monday, there is, just based upon the last three, and again, I haven't backtraced it to the last 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, quad witching, okay? I didn't take the time to do that. You're more than welcome to do that. But at least based upon the last three quad witching of this year, and again, it has been a bearish year, by the way, on Monday, okay, either the high of that day or the close of that day will be likely bullish. That's my guess. So here's an action plan that I'm planning to do. And basically is this. So Friday, 3:50 p.m. I may do some SPY calls lotto. If at that point I have a lot of puts still working, I may actually get a couple of more SPYs as a hedge. I'm not going to just do one contract at 410 and say, hey, hopefully we hit that. I may do, so let's say it closes at 392. I may do a SPY 395 and get enough of those to hedge my puts at least up to 25%. That'll be my insurance that I pay into it. Okay. So if the market tanks on Monday and goes against the trend, then my SPYs will be worthless, okay, but I'll be happy because then all my puts are working and I'll be able to, make money. So on that day, I don't mind, for example, losing $2,000 or $2,500 on SPY if I'm going to be earning and making $10,000 on my puts, right? So that's the plan. If I have lightened up by then, which I'm hoping to do in profit on all of these trades, if I have lightened up on them, what I may do is just play 1 or 2 SPY lottos, and if it ends at 392, I may just get, hey, let's get a 410. What? I don't know, just whatever, 410. All right, 408, 408. Okay. If it's 11 cents, 15 cents, why not? I'll get a couple, just for the fun of it. Having said that, another thing to keep in mind when it comes to the indicator bot, okay? So, yep. For next week, the bot will be on, and there will be buys and sells coming through. So if you're a premium member and you have the bot being alerted on your phone, and please have it on your phone, make it a unique sound like a cha-ching, or a whistle, or a girl saying, hey darling, or something like that. I don't know. So that way when the alert comes, you'll be able to look at it, look at the chart, get a general sense of the sentiment. Okay, look at the indexes. Okay, you always want to be able to look at so at the start of the day, let me even turn it on. Where is it? Okay. At the start of the day, you always want to get a sense of how the market is moving. Is it generally okay? I'm trying to get my and it's not opening. Sorry. Okay, so at the start of the day, you generally want to know what is the mood and sentiment of the market of that day. Okay, so if the market is, here we go, in the beginning of the market, okay, and by the way, when I look at the markets, I'm looking at 4 main things and deciding whether or not I want to get into a long call or a short. Here we go. I'm looking at UVXY and the US dollar index. Okay, so if the dollar is going down continuously and UVXY is going down continuously, then I know that SPY, QQQ, and some of the individual stocks will be going up. It's an inverse relationship. Okay, so if I see that happening at 9:50, 10 o'clock, and the trend continues, I will have a high confidence that whatever the bot shoots out, I'm going to get calls, and I'm going to day trade the calls as much as possible. And I'm looking to really, really day trade next week because of the FOMC and the quad witching taking place. Okay, if it's bearish, right, UVXY is rising. Over here, the dollar in general was rising. So if UVXY is rising, dollar index is rising, then it's negative for the index and the stock market. Okay, so only take sell calls and only get puts. All right, so that's how we would play it. And if I were to total up the indicator bot just purely on the TP1, TP2, and stop losses, it's still up maybe around like 70%, okay, in terms of winning, okay? But my tally for the week was actually 15 wins and 0 losses, okay? So why did I send out 15 wins, 2 losses? Because Microsoft and Netflix, while it's a swing for me, a lot of people would have hit their 30% stop. Okay. And Bethany, I don't know, can you hear me? You keep on going, unmuting yourself. Can you keep mute and type here? So because we can hear background noise, or at least I could hear background noise. Okay, so that's the tally. So based upon the indicator bot, I was able to get in, and I played the. I was able to take the bot's alerts based upon the market sentiment, and that's why I was able to tally 15 wins and 0 losses. Now, having said that, next week, if Amazon, QQQ, Microsoft, and Netflix don't work for me, which I highly doubt, but if they don't work for me, all 4 of them, actually, either 3 of them are going to be wins and 1 loss, or 1 is going to be a win and the other 3 are going to be losses. Okay, so 16 and 3 versus 18 wins and 1 loss based upon my active plays. I'm okay with that. I'm making money with that. So, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So why is, all right. There we go. Okay. So that's what I would suggest for next week. Okay. So that is it. One last thing would be, well, let me stop right now and say, now you can unmute and please feel free to ask any questions. Do you have any questions before I share with you my earnings play for next week? M. Bettany, do you have any questions? Carl, do you have any questions? Ken, Kyle, Malad, and once, twice sold. Okay. Let's go to my proposition of playing the following. I am actually looking at a stock that I just find quite compelling. And that is actually Coupa Software. Okay. First things first, I was looking, and this is how I do my research, my fundamentals on the weekends. I hope that you guys will do this with all of the stocks that you're following. Look at the call and put interest. Look at the volume. Okay, so the volume was very high, around 53, but open interest. So they all pretty much closed up at that point. That means that a lot of them made money on for the 53 strike, and they closed it. And then you have a lot of volume taking place here. Okay, but notice this: even though there was 26.53, the open interest is higher when there's only a 37 delta and there's a probability of 33% that's going to actually be a winning option. Okay. All this, by the way, is for this coming Friday, 12/16, during quad witching. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. Okay, so you're looking at, in terms of open interest on the call side, you're seeing 70. Open interest on the put side, you're seeing 60. Okay, so there are these many people, or these many contracts, thinking that it's going to drop after earnings on Monday after the close. And then 3 times as much, almost 3 times as much, who think that it's going to pop beyond 70. So you would have to pay $2. So your break even actually is $72.15. Just add these two. So your break even is that Coupa after earnings has to rise above 72.15 for you to break even. Anything above that is profit. So I was like, this is interesting. Okay, so I'm looking at that. And then I'm looking at the insider flow. No, here we go. Option flow. Why can't I get it? Oh, here. All right, here we go. So this is the insider finance option flow service that I use. Okay. And this has been yesterday's flow on Coupa. Okay. I'm looking at the two puts, which came in towards the end of the day. They're thinking that it's going to drop to 53, okay, which is a big drop. You're looking at a $9 drop, so it would be like a 15%, at least a 15% price drop in order for them to make money. They bought blocks, okay, so they set the price and they bought blocks, and there's only 84 interest on that. Their sizes total is 1,200. Okay, but then look at the calls all throughout the day from 10 a.m. All the way to 3:50. It's just been coming in, and these are the sizes that has come in. And at that 70 price, that's where you get the open interest of 32.35. So there's a lot of open interest at that price. Okay. And so since you're paying, they did pay $2.15 on that. So what they're believing is that it has to increase from 62 to 72. Again, like a 15% increase in order for them to make money. Okay. And the reason that I like quad witching hour is that the market is going to be so volatile that there's a higher chance that you can make money just on the implied volatility, just on the premiums. Okay, so I'm looking and leaning towards the call side even more because of this. Okay, so that's smart money coming in, and more of the smart money things that Coupa is going to be increasing rather than decreasing. Okay, so before we look at that, there was a huge breakout, a gap open on Wednesday, November 23rd. This is a while back now, okay? This is like 3 weeks ago. And does anybody know what happened 3 weeks ago with Coupa? This wasn't actually a sympathy rise with another stock. Actually, I think there was some of that, but Coupa actually had a earnings per share revision, an upward revision that was given, and it just basically popped. Okay, and then since then it has been basically dancing around over here. And what I see from a formation perspective, where's the triangle, is this. I'm seeing kind of like a what do you call that? Anybody? Anybody? Somebody? What do you call that formation? That pattern?
Flag.
A flag or a pennant?
A pennant. CJ, also, it said on the 25th of November, Coupa climbed, aiming at continuing takeover speculation.
Which they denied.
Huh?
They denied it.
They denied it? Oh, okay.
So are they doing that because they want to keep the price down? I don't know. Are they denying it because it's the actual truth? Oh, shocker. Okay. But outside of that, so you have that takeover speculation, right? Which would be great if they announce it during earnings. All they have to say is like, oh, earnings sucks, but you know what? So and so is going to buy us, and Coupa is just going to shoot up like super crazy. Okay. Now let's take a look at the autofib. Actually, before looking at the autofib, I want you to be able to look at it from overall perspective and what generally the indicators would tell you. This is the linear regression. And taking into account the linear regression, which takes you all the way back to July, okay, the overall, so you are at the top of the linear regression. And typically when you use linear regression as an indicator, the way you work it basically is when it reaches the top, you sell. When it goes towards the bottom, is in the red signal, you buy. Okay, so apparently there's a buy right there. When it reaches the top and there's a sell, you sell. Okay, and you could have taken it all the way down here. It touches the bottom, so you buy again, and boop, that's what happened. So the overall linear regression, looking at from that perspective, it's bearish. Let's look at Elliott wave. If you take into account Elliott wave, okay, and Tradingview has been great in now drawing the Elliott waves automatically, whereas before you had to do it yourself, and it was really more of an art than science. Okay, so according to Elliott wave, you're looking at the 1, 2, 3, okay, and the 3 to, so this is where you have that long bullish movement. And the next step should be from here going down. So it has it going down to the 382 Fibonacci level, which is 58.28. Okay, so looking at Elliott wave, it's giving you a bearish view. Looking at the linear regression is giving you a bearish view. Let me see if I can show you. No, forget it. I'm just going to confuse you. Let's
Yeah,
look at
CJ, you're still looking at doing a call because you're only going to be day trading it or just over a couple of days.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going by, going along with the smart money. Okay. Now, if you're playing earnings, again, you play with very little, because, if you hit a home run, you're going to hit a home run. So you're going to lower your exposure, by 75, 80%, 90% of what you would normally do in a trade. Okay. So for example, if you're willing to lose up to $1,000 in an option trade, okay, in a lotto situation, pre-earning situation, you have to bring it down to like $250 or $200, or really play it safe and just say, you know what, $100, that's it. I'm not willing to lose more than $100, and that's how you play it. Now, the good thing about Coupa software is overall it has been down. Okay, I mean, goodness, this was my support line, and it just crapped out on me all the way down here. Okay, so this is 40-30 right here. 40-30 is the absolute 52-week low. Okay, so with the earnings revisions upward, with the rumor that somebody's looking to buy it, because again, Coupa used to be $350. now it's down to 60. With the earnings coming up this Monday, and when you get into a option, you're going to do a weekly. So you have 2 days. You don't have it till Friday. You really have 2 days to take that into a profitable trade. So all of those things combined, I'm looking towards doing a call. Okay, so it's looking like it has reached the upper level of 618. Okay, it has bounced off of this twice and is trying to reach up there. So it has bounced here. It has broke down from here, and it's just staying there. So if you were to look at it just by itself, it's confusing. It's like, I don't know what to do. But the very fact that it's forming a bullish flag or a bullish pennant, that's the formation that we have with earnings coming up right here. That's positive. Now, the earnings estimate is actually making money, not losing money, which in a high interest environment that we live in is very, very important. Okay. Posted your gains on Delta chat. Awesome. Yes, please. Okay, show us that it's working. It makes me happy that people are making money and I'm helping people. All right, so here's Coupa. So a lot of things are pointing in the positive for Coupa. We have seen software companies drop 10%, 20, 30%. Okay, so it could happen with Coupa. But this one, I'm willing to take a chance at going upwards. So what is my play? If I were to play it, I would probably, there are 2 ways to do it. Okay, so let me do it this way. Okay, so 2 ways to play it. Okay, I'll give you the safe way. And does it have a texting? Ah, crap. This one doesn't have a texting thingamajig. Never mind. All right, so let's do this one. All right, so, okay, we got 2 ER plays. Number 1 is do a 12-16 70 call, single, well, let's not call it naked. Let's keep it PG-13, all right? Single option, okay, at 12-16. So this is something that I would try to get on Monday when Coupa is actually going down. So it's going to go up and down probably. So hopefully it's on its way down. Okay. Overall, you're 130. Dude, that is fantastic. Here we go. Look at that. 130% up. Fantastic. All right. Number 2. So this is risky. This is kind of like all or nothing. I'm hoping to buy the contract at 250 or less. Okay, because it was 215 Friday in closing. Okay, so we'll see. Or what you can do is the same 12-16, but you're going to do a vertical call, okay, of 70 to 75 call, okay, and this one you don't want to pay more than $2. Okay, so it'd be $2 or less. Okay. Now, which one would I do? Obviously, I'm going to do number 1 because the $2 or the 250 the risk reward ratio, it also plays well for Coupa. Why? Because if it's 250 and Coupa tanks, then I lose $250 for that contract. That's the worst case scenario. Okay, better than buying the stock, right? 100 shares and let it go down, 20 points, because then you lost $2,000. Whereas if you do the call option, you lose 100%, but in dollar figures is only $250. So that's why when people say that options are extremely volatile, extremely risky, you may lose 100% of your investments. That is true. But from a dollar perspective, you're only losing 250 as opposed to Coupa going down 20 points and losing $2,000 for 100 shares. Make sense? Number two, typically vertical calls are between $1.85 to like $2.40. Okay, 240 is like Tesla. Okay, you're not going to pay 240. It's not worth the risk reward ratio on any other stock other than Tesla. Okay, because you're limiting your losses. That's what you have to do with Tesla. Okay, because you're playing with fire there. But for Coupa, is it worth for me to risk losing $200 and the max that I can make on this is $300? Okay, you follow me? Because you pay $2 of premium, or let's say it's $1.85, doesn't matter. Whatever premium that you choose is your max loss is the premium. But here's the problem. The max gain is difference between premium and the what do you call that? I'll just call it the gap. I'm having a brain fart right now. Between the 70 and 75. So let's make the math simple. If you pay $200 for this, your max profit is actually $300. Okay, so I mean, it's not that you're going to get back $300. You're going to get $500 back. It's just that $300 is your profit. That's it. But you could lose $200. Whereas with this one right here, okay, my max loss is, let's say I pay $250, but my max gain is whatever. Okay, now that could be $100, that could be $250, it could be less than the vertical, that is true, or I don't know, it has fantastic earnings and they announce, listen, and they announce that somebody's going to buy them, or the next day, or end of end of Tuesday trading, news comes up saying that another company, Microsoft or something like that, is going to buy Coupa software for X amount of billions of dollars. Okay, at $6 billion or something like that. Your max gain could be as much as $2,000, 10 times. It's feasible. Okay, because not only are you gaining the delta on Coupa, okay, but remember, if it's Tuesday, if it happens on Tuesday or Wednesday morning, you also have implied volatility. That's the extra juice that you're getting on Coupa. So the upside is just phenomenal on this one. Okay, that's why for me it's actually worth taking the risk right there. Okay, so that's why I'm looking at Coupa. So I'm giving it to you in advance. All right, pay attention to it. Let me save this right there. So I saved it on the Indicator Pro. So when you open up your Indicator Pro and refresh it and type in Coupa, you're going to see this and you're going to see that. Okay, so that way you'll be able to take a look at it. And when you actually go into a trade on Monday, you want to be able to see how it crashed right there. If it starts up really up high, you want to wait until it goes down, you know, at the bottom of the orb. Or if it starts crashing in the morning to like 61 and then starts rising, that's when you buy. Okay, so buy it when it's low. So that way you minimize your premiums and you maximize your profits. Okay, so that's how I would enter on Friday. Okay, and that's the Coupa play. Okay, and another reason that I have not mentioned, but worth mentioning, is that when we look at the strat, we're looking at after the original three. Three is basically the high and the low is higher than the previous week. Okay, we have a higher two. Okay, it's a rising two. We have another rising two for the past 2 weeks. Okay, while the quarterly is negative, guess what? The weekly and monthly is very bullish. So for that reason, in the long run, I think Coupa is a good potential play if the market rallies. Okay, I'm just not convinced that the market will rally, so I would rather do this. And if by any chance I make, you know, 1,000% on Coupa, this might be an opportunity for me to take those winnings and actually buy Coupa shares. I don't know as to how many, whatever. 50% of it will go into like Coupa shares, whether it be 25 shares, 10 shares, whatever it is. I may go into Coupa just for the very fact that they are a takeover candidate. Maybe not today, maybe not this week, but they're a takeover candidate. So that's that for Coupa. Okay. I don't have anything else beyond that. Questions, comments? So we talked about Indicator Pro, Indicator Bot. This is how I use Indicator Pro. Mentioned how to take plays on Indicator Bot so you increase your winnings. Any questions? Any questions? No questions? Anybody want to type it? So again, congratulations on being 130% up. You and another person, you've been up 130%. Somebody also had posted that they were up 150%. So you are welcome, definitely. So let me close out with this, okay? I have some goals moving into 2023. Okay, we have right now less than 100 premium subscribers. Okay, with the Indicator Bot, the way it's working, I mean, 85 wins, 7 losses. Okay, I mean, there are services out there that throw out alerts, and they are worse. They have a worse statistics than my Indicator Bot. Okay. Thus far, from what I have seen, and I could be wrong, prove me wrong, show me something, but I think I have the best stock alert bot out there. Like really, really the best stock alert bot that gives you all the information that you need right there, okay? And including the Discord, which is, you know, actually the Discord is $30 a month. The bot is free to y'all, okay? But just the bot alone I've seen one company charge $99 a month, another one $199 a month. It's crazy. We have a guy who wants to use the bot and implement it into his own Discord, but his Discord subscription is $140 a month. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So this is a deal. And I am so confident that with your help, with your affiliate links, with the marketing that we are preparing, we should have 1,000 to 2,000 members by the end of next year. Maybe more. I mean, goodness. We got a thing going on here, and you guys are the beneficiaries as charter members. You're here in the early get-go. And, you know, let's pretend that, you know, a couple of years from now, the bot itself is so good that we're charging $200 a month for people to join in. Guess what? All you're locked in at your price. Okay, the $29.95 or actually $39.95. There are people who are paying $39.95 right now. They are locked in for the rest of their life. Okay, some of you here are paying less. Okay, you're locked in. That price will not increase ever. Okay, I promise you that, because that's the promise I've made from the get-go, and we're not going to change that. Okay, so since it has been helpful to you, you know, increasing your portfolio 130%, another person 150%. Some of you are fairly new. Have that expectation. I want to increase my portfolio by X amount by next year. I'm going to skip a couple of lunches. I'm going to pack some peanut butter and jelly, some tea, have tea and crumpets at home instead of buying my Starbucks in the morning, and just save up that money and you know, put it towards investing. Because whether the market goes down next year and it's a recession, we can buy lots of puts. And if the market turns around and we are back into recovery, we can buy lots of calls. We can play the market either way, okay, and make money. All right. So that's the flexibility that we have, and that is the secret sauce that we have. So be excited for it. Please pass the word along. If you don't have an affiliate code, please get it. And, you know, get your 100 subscribers. Okay, so that way you have your $1,000 to $2,000 a month of passive income coming at you. Okay, another thing that I'm looking to do is implementing, eventually, we're looking into it, a Autobot trader, where it takes the trades that the bot sends out, and it actually automatically trades it into your account. We're looking for ways to do that, okay? But we still need to improve the Autobot to take into account the overall market sentiment. So far, it generally does, but I'm not, you know, I'm not happy. I'm not 100% happy with my own indicator bot, okay? I think I can improve it more. And if we have the automatic stock trader, oh boy, then you got a truly passive money printing machine, okay? And for those who are in the group and part of our family already, you are the biggest beneficiaries of it. And all the other people who come in afterwards, they're going to have to pay the right price for the level of service that we're going to provide. By the way, we do need somebody who is good with website development. We need somebody who's really good with Python. So in case somebody's listening to this live or in recording and you're good with it, please reach out to me and let me know how you can be of help. Somebody who's really good with social media. I'm terrible on TikTok. I'm terrible on Reddit. I've already been kicked out in one of the groups on Reddit. So if you're good with that, if you're good with Discord, if you're good with, just getting the word out, please, contact me, let me know, and let's be part of it. So that's where we are at. I'm excited. Hopefully you're excited. Let's have a good, strong finish to December and start on the right foot for 2013. So with that, I'm going to close it up. And if you have any questions, please send me your DMs on Telegram. That is the primary mode in which I get back to you. If you DM me on Discord, I'll respond to you quickly if I'm on it. But if I'm not, it may take hours or maybe even days. So reach out to me on Telegram and let's get that money. So have a good weekend, guys.